Hello YouTube, this is HuntingGuy532 and I'm going to talk to you what I feel is a very serious issue, and that is gun control in Canada. Gun control in Canada has gotten out of hand with things like firearm registration, round captivity laws, restricted firearms, and all-around bullshit laws. Registration of firearms does not, to me, is stupid. It's even stupider that you'd have to pay for it to register your firearm. So the government knows what caliber, what kind of rifle, or what kind of firearm you own, what caliber it is, and what kind of action it is. Because if we don't stand up for our rights now, when the day comes that they want to seize that firearm for whatever reason, they'll have the paperwork. They'll know exactly where it is. They'll be on your doorstep with a SWAT team around your house saying, "We want this, this, and this now." And if you fail to comply, they'll use whatever force they deem necessary. In Canada, we have lost the right to self-defense. In Canada, you are not allowed to defend yourself with a firearm, you're not allowed to defend yourself with a knife, and you're not allowed to defend yourself with any form of pepper spray or mace, unless from an animal. So, the only way you can really defend yourself in Canada is with your own two hands, but even then you could be facing assault charges. So, we gotta get our rights back. To those of you from the United States that may be viewing this video, stand up for your rights now, because if it can happen to us, it can happen to you. We as Canadians, we trusted our government that they would not do this to us. They would not take away our rights to have our guns. They would not take away our right to self-defense, but they did. They lost it in Europe too. To anybody viewing from Europe, you can help me. You can probably help me with this. Their gun laws are even worse than ours. But the United States, do what you can now to defend your rights to self-defense, to the right to have a gun, the right to hunt, all that kind of thing. Because if you don't, your government will take that away from you. Don't think it can't happen to you. Another thing, things like round captivity laws, restricted firearms. Restricted firearms in Canada are deemed as handguns, in some forms of military grade or rifles or assault weapons. So you can own an AR-15 in Canada. It has to have a 5-round mag capacity. That's the maximum number of rounds you can have. It's a 5-round mag. If you have a 30-round clip for it, you better have a pin in there blocking it off to 5 rounds. And to shoot that AR-15, you cannot take it hunting. You can only take it to a range, but even then, you need to go to the police station. You need to get an ATT, and what that stands for is authorized to transport. You get that paperwork filled out from what guns you're taking to the range of restricted firearms, classed as handguns and assault weapons, to the range, what time you're going to be taking it into what range, and where your place of residence is. And that's the only way you can shoot your restricted firearms legally in Canada. Your non-restricted firearms, which are your rifles and shotguns, you can take to the range anytime. You can go hunting with them. And a lot of people think, oh, well, that's fine, an ATT, that's not a big deal. Well, to me it is. Why should I have to go out of my way to go down to the police station to tell them what guns I'm taking to the range? You have to plan far ahead of this to get the ATT permit. Instead of one day, if you decide, hey, I want to go shooting, you can't just take your handgun or your assault weapon and take it to the range. You have to go several days prior to when you're planning to go to get your ATT permit. And if it rains that day or something comes up where you can't shoot, you have to go renew that permit. So, which I find utter bullshit. Firearm registration, back to that. It's stupid. Let's say you had a .270 rifle. You used it for deer hunting. And you lock it up in your cabinet, because that's law, and you leave, and a thief breaks in, gets into your gun vault, and takes that rifle. And if that criminal goes out and kills somebody or commits a violent crime with it, and the police find it, and they run a registration check on it, and if it's registered to you, They're going to come to your house, and because they can't find the criminal, they're going to arrest you. And if you ask why, they say because this is your firearm. We traced it back to you, and you said, and if you can plead your case. I didn't do this. Why are you punishing me? They'll say, well, this firearm was your responsibility, and you'll face jail time for it, or very hefty fines if you're lucky. Back to the restricted firearms thing, where assault weapons are restricted. They think a law-abiding citizen with an AR-15 that has round capacity more than 5 magazines is just, if you own an AR-15 or something, and you have more than 5 rounds in your gun, that you're just gonna break into every school and shoot a bunch of kids, or go to a gas station and rob people. And law-abiding citizens don't do that. Criminals do. Criminals will always have guns. Criminals will always get guns. They will buy them illegally like they always have. I think the government of Canada needs a good slap to the face, and they need to take a look at history. If history shows anything, is that criminals always had guns. Criminals will always have guns, and by putting in gun control acts, you're disarming good citizens that would do nothing wrong, and putting guns in the hands of criminals. So, to me, what do you want? Do you want a law-abiding citizen that won't do anything with his gun to have it, or would you want a criminal on the street to have his gun that'll go and shoot you and rob places, and a store clerk won't be able to do anything about it? The people on the street won't be able to do anything about it. When the RCMP arrive too late, they won't be able to do anything about it. Somebody could lose their life, somebody could be hurt. So, yeah. Okay, and that's it for now.